Well, I have come back on this evening and it's kind of early in the evening, but I went ahead and got into my pajamas because I was just getting kind of tired. Probably needed to kind of get out of those real tough, thick jeans I was wearing and kind of put on a little something softer just to kind of get back to work and do little things here. I do want to tell you one thing I'm going to work on today. First of all, I am going to draw in the cuffs for the sleeves on these Santas. We're not going to do the carving part of that today, but that is one thing we're going to draw in the lines for because that is a necessary part to this project. And I've made these so many years. There may have been the years of my life I always had to measure them with a ruler to make sure I got them right, but got to where I've just experienced it enough that I've just gotten further along with it, done it enough years to kind of know what I'm doing. But here's what I show you is this is where the lines are drawn, and probably will talk to you all a little bit as I draw a few more, but this is just how my work is coming along, easy and fine and fair and working itself out for the better, taking itself in time's hands, and just little things like that. I will mention one thing I'm loving about these evenings is how that the way it just kind of gets dark early and gets colder at night like it is. I love the fact that I'm just not going to Starbucks at night right now. There's probably little that the people know. There's certain things I can imagine what they probably think is the reason I'm not there. They probably think it's because of those kids I've told you about before, but in reality, it's really just because it's getting dark earlier and getting colder at night. And in such a case, I just kind of feel better if I'm in the privacy of my own home. But I did go in there this afternoon just to kind of get on my internet Wi-Fi for a while before coming home. And somebody came by there, and I mean, a person who has seen me there at night before just said hi to me, like this person always does. I didn't have, nobody really said to me, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. I'd say it's probably pretty typical because usually the people who are there at night aren't typically there during the day, and people who are typically there during the day are not typically there at night. So there's just kind of different shifts for different people depending on their time and where they are. And I'd say it just all pretty much seems to go so well, and matters get taken care of the best way we know how, the best way we can. We kind of get them together. I just would like to say that one thing about it is that right now, even though I go into McLeod's tomorrow to get to take that Cedar Santa to that lady she ordered if she shows up, which she's scheduled to, I just haven't really. I'd say I'm kind of getting to the point where starting today, not going there as much in the afternoons because with it being the winter time and the holiday season, it's starting to get busier there in the afternoons because more kids are coming in. And to be honest, that shopping center is fairly close to where I went to high school, and it's there's always the possibility that these kids who are coming there now might go to that same school I went to. Kids probably go around a little more freely these days because they have their cell phones that their parents can track them on and see where they are. it all just gets a little different from one place to the next, one time to the next, but everybody knows what goes on, what they go about, what they do about, and the things we see in life. They kind of tell us different things at different times. I'd like to say that for that very reason, I was able to go shop at Woodcraft this afternoon, and when I went to shop there, it was a good experience because there was a piece of African mahogany I saw there that I wanted the last time that I was going to purchase the next time, and so I did. There had also been a certain piece of walnut that was there, or a couple of them. Well, anyway, I had to kind of look for this, my thumb guard, but it just so happened that they weren't in the place where they were before. I thought that somebody had already purchased them, that maybe that was the reason why they were no longer in that place, but I found out that they're moving some wood around, and they moved some to the very back so they can transport it to a different room. Somebody informed me of that, the fact that they had moved it, so I went back there to look. Sure enough, I found those two pieces I needed, came home with them all right, and we'll tell you a little bit more as I carve, but first I want to tell you what we're going to do today. Do you see this line where the pants are, where you see is what looks like a skirt? We're going to carve that off and turn it into a pair of pants on the Santa. So that's the way I'd say that goes today. I mean, it was, I'd say, kind of a blessed day in the place, and for all we could find, for all we could do, for all we could see. And of course, you've probably seen before or heard about the fact that I was wanting to make some more bears out of the walnut, and so I've kind of purchased it for that. And I've carved out a few more I've cut out a few more horse blanks, like I said I would, sawed them out, but haven't carved them yet. And there's just plenty of things that as of right now, I'm trying to work on, because I've pretty much gotten all my Christmas stuff taken care of. I've gotten my shows done, and it's like right now there's things I'm starting to get ready to carve for the spring, and trying to, and since it's going to be a long winter first, trying to get together all the wood that I'm going to need for the winter so I can spend some time over the winter carving things for the spring and for the summer and for next fall, to try to have them in the local Lex market if I can. And I want to show you all now what I did. First of all, I trimmed along those edges, but what I'm going to do now is kind of carve out the line that is between the two pant legs here. The line that separates the two pant legs in the Santa. So we're taking care of that little matter. We're kind of shaving around the place where it goes, the place where it comes, and take care of little matters as they come and as they go. Take care of what we need, take care of what we do. Little Santa goes a little ways, and taking the time, do what we need. Got it. That's what it looks like in the front. Now I'm going to work on the same line in the back and carve along that line. Take little steps to go about it. Work my way through it. And time shall come when we shall get all this together. Make a special soul for ourselves and kind of do what we do, There's a lot to do these days as far as just being out there, Maybe we might make a name here or there sooner or later, just depending on how this goes, depending on what we do. Some things we have to have people to teach us to do. Some things we kind of teach ourselves, and all goes well, all gets done, and all gets taken care of. We know this is how we're blessed, is when we go about this work. Now here, I will show you what it looks like. This is in the front, and this is in the back. So, we've gotten that part done. We're going to kind of work on the next part here. Take this little Santa to the extremes it needs to be. Take it further, take it on, take it to a level we've never seen before, as it goes a long way, as we make our way about it, working the time into it, taking the time it takes just to make things come out as right as they need to be. It's like they say to us these days. I'd like to mention another thing about how work has been this week. I work in a cafeteria, and we have been spending the last few days getting a Thanksgiving dinner ready to serve to the kids and their families. It's a big dinner there because, you know, of course the kids go through the line to be served it, but the families come to have the Thanksgiving dinner with the kids. So that's one way it goes about. That's one way we take care of it. And I'd say I was thinking that today was going to be quite a busy day itself, but I'd say in a way it might have been, but for me it didn't compare to the last couple of days. The last couple of days there seemed to be a little extra task, and things were just a little overwhelming. Wouldn't really explain all the reasons why it was or how it was, but as I just kind of worked on it a little more, I just managed it so much better, and today was probably a better day than any of those days, because today it seemed like it went by pretty fast. We got things taken care of as they needed to be. We got a big day tomorrow. I'm thinking about it ahead of time. There's going to be one line in the school on which they're going to be serving Thanksgiving dinner, and one line on which they're going to be serving pizza. And at that school, it's like in the cafeteria, we serve pizza every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's how that comes along. It's Thursday night while I'm doing this video. Don't know when I'm going to upload it, but I will say this is the week before Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is only in a week from today. And today, as this video is being recorded, and it's going to be one of those days where it's going to be better this year, because I get a break from school the entire week. I get a break from work the entire week, because they're going to close the schools the entire week. They're not going to have school for the students. We have a good superintendent this year. It was unfortunate that last year we had a superintendent who died, but this year it's getting to be a better year, because, you know, this new superintendent, he's kind of good to us in every way, and he's kind of given us an extra week off to have for Thanksgiving. Could be any number of reasons why we're doing that, and could be many, and it's all just kind of, I'd say, going so much for the good, because we're getting little things taken care of at times, and these days, just these days, I think it's all about just being good to the kids sometimes. That's why our slogan in the school system is, it's all about kids. Because that's what they enforce as employees. They want us to make a difference. That's what they tell us. We sort of have our meetings at the beginning of the year. We have our in-services, and There have been years that we've had our school rallies and they've gone pretty well. We've had things taken care of the best way they needed to be, and everybody's been blessed in the system. So I come by to say that I think all's going well for us, all's going well for them, all's going well for the kids. And tomorrow will be my last day to work before my break. And there's going to be some things I'll be out buying over the break. For one thing, I'm probably going to need to get a haircut next week. And then for another, we'll also need to get a new pair of slip-resistant shoes. Because when you work in food service or in a cafeteria or in a kitchen, slip-resistant are the best thing to wear. They advise it anytime you work in a place like that. So that's what I'm going to be out to look for, is some of that, because it's all about all the slick floors, the floors they mop, and the floors where spills happen, and the fact we wear slip resistance just to be safe. The pair of shoes I have, they're just getting worn out. The leather is wearing on them, and they've been getting pretty old, so we're tackling those. We're taking care of them. We're kind of getting them in the shape where they need to be, taking care of little matters the way they need to be taken care of. For, of all things, there's a lot of work we have to do in our lives. A lot we have to do to take care of our own needs. These days, it's like with all the ways work comes along, in this little craft business I'm trying to start, sometimes it kind of gets to be a good thing. It gets to be something at which I can work at night, work wearing anything, work doing anything, and all the things we say and do for others, I tell you, business is going to go a long way. Probably going to help a lot of people get better lives and better energy, better souls, better thoughts, better feelings. We're all going to take care of the little things just as they need to come along. I'd like to share that I've gotten to share some art lately over Messenger and stuff, and so much has gone well, so much has done so good. I'd say that, well, that knife is getting a little dull there, so might have to switch to another one. And for all I know, they might all be getting a little dull here and there. I'm thinking that with this particular step of the Santas, I might have to only do 5 for this video. Maybe save the other 5 for another time, but take care of this the best way we can for the time that we can. Sometimes, like, you probably see I'm sawing a little bit with this knife, and one thing I've learned in Wood Carvers Guild, especially from the carver who's already been deceased as of recently, it's like, that one thing I learned is that you should never saw with your knife. If it gets to that point where you feel like you're needing to, it could very well mean that it needs to be sharpened. I'm thinking that that's probably what I'm going to do next, is try to get around to sharpening these knives, because I think as much as I've used them for the last video of carving Santas, and for some bears I've been working on, they are probably getting to the point where they are just about needing it, because they've been spared a long way. They've been used a long way. They've come a long way since the last time they were used, and we're taking care of little things like this the best way they need to be. Unfortunately, it just so happens I have chipped the heel off the shoes, but we're going to get that taken care of again. Just recarve the heel, but it's going to probably go in a little bit, come out a little different. But we've got the whole thing just taken care of as it needs to be. Blessing our souls, blessing our lives, making happy little souls out of people. It's just one of these things where just a little thing to take care of here. Just a simple little thing to fix. Probably one of the least of our worries, because sometimes when you kind of do things in carving, you're going to make little mistakes now and then. You're going to mess up now and then, but you can always go back and correct it. You can kind of make a little something better out of it. When you kind of chip off the good parts, you've got an opportunity to make the best out of it, and always make new opportunities out of all your little mistakes, because that's the way that doing artistic work works. And I think I see the way it is with the shoes here. Besides the fact that I think if I tried to do too much, I'd probably make this video long. If I went into everything, it would probably make the video a little too long to watch, too long for some people's attention spans. But it's gone a little further, and we're taking matters into concern. This little matter is just a little thing we're doing just for the better. Making little Santas and showing little grace to other people in life. And probably get out this little knife here, but I think they're all getting dull. All need to be sharpened. So after I finish this one, which will be the 5th one I've done tonight, thinking after that I might just probably close off the video, kind of end it for the evening, try to make it short enough, try to make it short and sweet, try to go about it, and try to see that this will go pretty far, taking the things away that need to be removed. I say that it's just a time when, you know, maybe this particular video might not be one where I'll have a Bible verse, but I'm getting little things done here, getting little things taken care of the best they need to be. Little talking on and on don't hurt anybody, don't hurt the rest of us, don't hurt the most of us, don't hurt the worst of us. But when we take care of these little things the best way we can, the best way they need to be, it all gets better, it all goes for good, it all takes care of the little matters that are really the necessities in life. So try to kind of keep it all together, keep it all as we need, keep it all as it ought to be, take care of little souls in need, and the little soul we reach out to is going to be the one who's going to need the most. Because I tell you, people, when God puts somebody in your path, He puts them in your path for a reason. They might be the one you need to bless. They might be the one who has the most momentary need. They might be the one whose need you can currently supply. But what I come to say this evening is that we've come pretty far along today, come pretty far along tonight. I might have a little more work to do in another video, maybe in the next. So let's just kind of call it an evening for the night, for this video at least. And take care, and God bless.